What a stunning autumnal morning. Welcome. Let's get on with today's episode. We've got loads to talk about. See you in a minute. Good morning and welcome to a beautifully moist autumnal morning here in Derbyshire. My name's Richy. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to visit my channel. I appreciate it. Got loads to talk about today actually. I've had a bit of a break. I've not even sat in my office since before I went to Iceland. I needed to turn everything off and just have a break. So having done a week's tour of Iceland and coming home for a day and then going off on a week's tour of Spain, I knew it was going to be tough going. Coming home, I just thought, I am not doing anything. I'm just going to sit at home and not even go into the office. And it's done me really good because I feel all fresh again. And I was rather jaded. Got a bit of a cold coming, as to be expected. You run yourself down like that. Just on our way to a Honda dealer in Nottingham, Virtue. Plus, whilst in Spain, I had a letter through, as you fellow Africa Twin owners should have had, informing me of an urgent safety recall within the software that can cause the bike to stall. Can't say I've noticed anything like that, but we're going there this morning to have the software reflashed, I think. I chose the first appointment of the day, so it's not going to take too much out of my day. So we should be there for 8:10, appointments 8:30. I've got one of the cameramen from the Iceland trip coming to interview me in the garage as a sign-off to the series. Final thoughts, all that stuff. Iceland. I can't even begin to tell you about that. Different gravy and bloody hard work. I think I was panicking most of that tour because I knew I got to run and guide a tour to Spain the week after. So I was just thinking, please don't injure yourself, don't injure yourself. That I've been screwed. Yeah, I can't even begin to tell you about Iceland. I've been waiting for the final bits of footage to come from Kais and from their cameraman Tom, who's coming this afternoon. He's gonna bring me the rest of his professional stuff, and I'm hoping to be able to create you something very special, but we shall see. Who's up for story time? Let's tell you a couple of stories from Iceland while we're passing the time. It's just like being and riding on the surface of the moon. I mean genuinely. I know obviously we all know what it's like to ride on the moon and walk around on the moon, because we've all been there so many times, but you know, you get my point. It's exactly like the surface of the moon. Super fine black dust, and floating a dirt bike across it at sometimes speeds up to 110, 130 kilometers an hour just to keep the bike straight because it's so deep, really deep sand, and the bike's dancing underneath you like that because it's just, you know, you're smashing that much power through the back end. The front is almost just hovering, putting a bit of weight back on the seat to let that arse end dig in. Took some getting your head into the right space to be able to ride like that actually. You know, the first bit I was like, oh my god, I can't keep up with them in front, oh my god. And then just realising the faster you go, the safer it is. But it goes obviously against everything your tiny mind tells you. I said to all the team, I said, look, you might not know me and what I'm like, but I am sentimental, I am soft, I'm emotional. Things move me. I'm blessed in that way that I can let things move me. You know, I'm not stern and you know, tough and brave faced. If something's moving, a scenery, a song, you know, whatever, I'm gifted with the ability to let things hit how they're supposed to hit. And I said, you know, I probably will cry at some point. I don't think I actually did, but I was so close, so many times. In fact, yes I did. I'll tell you about that in a second. We stayed in mountain huts every night that are pretty much what they say on the tin, just huts. Just a big old hut with a, you know, a kitchen. Some of them didn't even have showers or toilets. You had to go outside. And the first one we went to, which was right at the side of Europe's biggest glacier. I'll try and pronounce the name of it, but I won't be able to, so I'll put it on screen now. And it used to be, built in 1963 I think, used to be a research centre for said glacier. So it's pretty cool to be staying in it, knowing that there's a massive glacier, you know, not too far from you. You can see it. Big communal bedrooms, you know, so we all slept together. You got your sleeping bag, pillow, and earplugs, so you didn't have to worry about people snoring. I thought that was going to be a bit weird at first, but we all got on like a big family. It was fantastic, actually. We ate like kings. Everything was in the support truck that followed us everywhere we went. So whilst we settled and sorted beds out and transferred footage, etc., the guide and his staff were cooking. We had the first night, we had horse for tea. Horse. Look at this picture and don't you tell me that does not look delicious. Massive table, loads of spread, and then puts this massive tray of char-grilled steaks in the middle of the table, and everyone's like, oh my god, that looks amazing. And he said, yeah, it's horse. We eat horse in Iceland, and we enjoy it, and we love it. And you know, I don't think I've ever eaten horse before. If I have, it was by being misled. Honestly, it was delicious. All cooked medium rare, so juicy and so tasty. And the toilet was like 100 feet away from the hut, and it was freezing. And the toilet, like, I mean, there's nothing around, nothing at all. We were on the top of we were on the moon. There's nothing there, no people, nothing at all. Added to its mystery for me, because there was just nobody there. Like it's like we hired Iceland to ourselves. I think within 15 minutes of riding out of Selfoss, where the Ride with Locals headquarters is, that's it. We never saw any people. So it was freezing. You had to put your shoes back on because it was moist, could be up in the clouds. And you go take yourself off to the toilet in the middle of the night with a little head torch. No electricity or anything like that. And the toilet's just a little tiny hut with essentially a little seat with a 10-foot hole in it. Yeah, that's where it all went. But amazing, it was just amazing. No showers, no electricity, no signal. It supplied us all with beer for each night, and it was called Viking. The beer was called Viking. They were lovely. I think they were quite strong because they're only like dumpies, and you could tell you'd had them. But since being home, I've tried to find some. I thought it would be nice to buy some and be able to have my own Viking beer at home. And I found some on Amazon, I think it was, for a case of 20 cans, say they're dumpy, £100. I don't like it that much. Oh, do you know, we crossed, I don't know, up to, I would say, 100 rivers. Crossing them all the time. Some of these rivers were the water was coming over the bow wave was coming over the front of the bike, all over you. There was ice in them. The roads don't exist. They're just a staked out lane through the black desert. Essentially, the environmental agency will just go there with a GPS device and some wooden stakes and just mark out roughly where the road is. And for the season, that's where the road is. No one goes outside of those stakes because it's illegal, but genuinely nobody does. So everything apart from the road is untouched. There's no footprints, there's nothing. Then we finally saw the Northern Lights. What a moment. That was the closest I came to shedding a tear. we'd had this one day where there was a massive storm and it felt like the wind was going to rip off the roof of the hut. But with that came perfectly clear skies, so we sat there talking about it, and he said, yeah, there's every chance that you'll see them tonight, but you know, sometimes they pop out for a minute, sometimes they'll show for 5 hours. You really don't know, you really can't tell. So everyone's starting to rally round and get the power leads for the cameras and tripods and stuff, so we can get the cameras set up throughout the night. So, you know, whilst we're sleeping, the cameras are just filming all night long or taking pictures all night long to be able to capture them. And I was just thinking, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Listen, had a few beers during the night and then went off to the shower, which again was a separate hut. You had to go and walk off to it. I'm just stood in the shower thinking, it's not, I'll be so disappointed if this is the way we see the lights. You know, our eyeballs aren't going to see them, but the camera lens is going to see them, and it's not really the same, is it? I want to be able to see them. So I'm feeling a bit deflated, and then I just came walking from the shower, you know, a bit like with my towel and toiletry bag under my arm, and just had a little, I thought I'd just have a quick look up behind me, and there it was, dancing. The skies were dancing, and that was so moving. I ran with him saying it could last for a minute. I just ran and got my tripod and DSLR, and this is what I saw. Really, really special. And then the next morning woke up and I thought, no, I'm not bothered now, I can go home. You know, we've had a good few days seeing Iceland properly, and now I've seen the Northern Lights, so I'm done, spent. Got a nice photo of the Milky Way too while I was stood there. We were riding right at the side of Iceland's most active volcano, Mount Hekla. I mean, right at the side of it, and approaching it, we all got text messages on our phone from the civil protection to say, you are now entering Hekla. This is an active volcano that can erupt at any time. Please take care. And it's 2 years overdue. It's pattern over the years. It's 2 years overdue for erupting. So that really moved me, because I like, that could pop at any time. We've seen the Northern Lights. Now how amazing would it be if we now see an eruption? I'll tell you something, it was nice having a personal videographer and photographer, and being directed as well. I'm hoping that this will turn out an amazing piece of film for you all. Yeah, between us, we should have something good. Every day you were just dumbfounded, really. You know, you'd see like the most stunning crater that's got a lake in the bottom of it. You know, the most stunning reflections from the mountains, and the most rugged, desolate landscape I've ever seen. And I don't think Iceland can compare to anything else. I don't think it can. I'll pop you a couple of clips in now just to whet your appetite, to show you what's coming, because we're not too far from Honda. I would say to anyone, if you want to tour and do something that is completely different to what you've ever done, regardless of what you've done, you'd take a trip to Iceland. Ride with locals. There'll be a link in the description to the company should you want to have a look, but it is advanced riding, definitely advanced riding. Easily the hardest riding I've done, the hardest trip. Right, we're getting off in a second. Honda is just over this brow, Lenton Lane. I think it's right next to Grey Paul, Ferrari and Maserati. Lenton Lane Industrial Estate, here we go. Well, we should be just here somewhere. Never been on here. Oh, it's right there, look. Couldn't be any easier. Virtue Honda. Here we go. Well, that wasn't actually anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. The ride into Nottingham at rush hour, not bad at all.
That's it. Software all reflashed. Apparently, yeah, the some bikes were stalling at low revs. He says after 4 months of doing this recall, there's only known one bike to suffer. So let us head back home. Where to? Go home. Right, now that's done, let's get back into Jackanory mode. Right then, so right after Iceland. Oh, wait a minute. What an amazing smell. Ooh, what is that? Right after Iceland, we went to Spain for the annual Wildbad Picos de Europa trip. 12 riders. We arrived. This is why we always go in October. The reason we always go in October is because the weather's turning to this here. And in Spain it's still lovely. Northern Spain. So we arrived, this was only, what, 2 weeks ago, in 29 degrees heat. Even to the point we got in the pool as soon as we got there. It was that hot. And we had great weather actually the whole trip. I think there were one day that were a bit less than desirable. We had quite a few riders that have never been before, so it's always an honour and a pleasure to show off that area to those that have never done it, because it is something else. I know it's kind of become a staple in the world of motorbikes nowadays to do Picos de Europa. It really is such a special place. And we go every year, you know, we go every October. I am getting to the point where I'm thinking I need to give it a break for a bit. Not for the fear of getting bored or blasé with it, but just so it can retain its shine, you know. I think I thought it mainly this time because I'd just bounced from Iceland, so I was kind of a bit jaded rather than being excited like I should have been, like everyone else. So yeah, I think that's why I felt it this time. And regarding the filming, I didn't do anywhere near as much as I normally do. I normally film, as you know, everything from start to finish. And you know, I didn't even switch a camera on until the first day waking up in Spain. First day waking up in Hekla. So, you know, we rode all the way to the ferry, sailed the ferry, all the way, the ride from the ferry to the hotel. I never filmed, never even switched camera on, not once. Just couldn't be bothered. And I thought, you know, I've turned, I've been going there for 8 years, I figured out, and I've turned out many of series from there. So I just thought, it's time for a break, it's time to do something different. So when it comes to me working on that, I might even just do one video of the highlights of the whole trip. Just felt like I needed to do something different, and I felt great for it. So we'll see. My mind's really been on the Iceland trip, and also of the Wildbad Weekender, which is, it's become its own entity. So we've got a brand new website, wildbadweekender.com, just so it's separate in terms of business from Wildbad Touring. It's still part of the business, obviously, but as with regards booking and you know, finances side of it, because of all the money that's coming in for tickets, we're keeping it so it's completely separate, so it makes more sense for accounts and my accountant. But yeah, wildbadweekender.com, we've got some massive news. There is actually, in fact, I'm going to show you the news right now. Have a look at this. When I said on stage at Wildbad Weekender 22, WW22, that next year is going to be all change, this is why. What do you think to that then? Always wanting and striving to make it the best it can be. And this new venue is, tickets are going on sale on November the 4th at 8 PM. We've gone up another notch, and I couldn't be prouder of it. But you know, we never stop working on it. The second this year's finished, the wheels are already rolling for the next one. In fact, the venue's been organised way before this year's one. You know, we'd not done the business side of it. I've got loads of things booked for it. We've got clothing vendors being there, selling all your suits and things like that. So there's going to be a big stall of that kind of stuff, everything you need. The usual, what you come to know and love. All the other vendors that have either worked with me in the past or helped me in the past will also be there. We've got the stunt show coming back again, they're already booked. We've got a brand new bar, it's going to be card and cash, serving all weekend. Food vendors are going to be there all weekend, serving all weekend. From now on, you can help yourself as and when you want to, rather than waiting in a big long queue. I didn't like seeing that, and I'm sure you lot didn't either. But you know, we have to experience these things to be able to learn from them, and you know, make changes. Otherwise, there's no growth, is there? Fingers crossed, the seed has been placed and the bait has been taken. Not yet confirmed. Honda, KTM and Suzuki will be there, hopefully, with bikes for you all to have a drool over, sit on, tyre kick, order, test ride, whatever you want to do. Brand new for 2023 and moving forward, because hopefully we'll have this venue for however long they'll have us for, because it's stunning. We've got a woodland trail ride for those on the ADV bikes, but we're going to cordon off an area in the woodland for you all to have a go off-roading. It's nothing too hairy or anything like that. Yeah, it's its own entity, and you know, I work tirelessly behind the scenes. They've got the same luxury toilets and showers, same marquee, brand new bigger bar, product giveaways as normal, and fingers crossed I'm going to have a belted Wildbad bike up for grabs. You know, like we gave the blue VF4 away a few years ago? Fingers crossed I've got a special one to raffle off to one person inside the tent. As always, it's never going to be, the raffles that we do at the weekend are never going to be to anyone outside the weekend. It's got to be to someone in that tent. The prize is always drawn on the Saturday night, so if you're wanting to be involved, you'll need to be there on the Saturday night. I mean, really, the event is made for people to be there for the weekend. I know some people can't make the full weekend for work or whatever commitments, but the weekender is designed to be a weekend show. You know, we'll do certain things on the Friday night, we'll do certain things on the Saturday night, different bands, and also this time we're going to have an acoustic tent, a bit of a chill out tent, with people playing acoustic music, myself included. The venue is absolutely stunning. I've got 5 venues to look at during this year, towards the summer of this year, and this was at the top of my list, but I didn't think that we'd be able to get it. And me being me, I like to be the kind of person to go and shake hands with people where I can look in their eyes rather than all over email, especially when it's business. So I went and had a meeting, told them all about me, all about Wildbad, the Wildbad Weekender, all about you guys, and how lovely you all are. I think it was that family feel and connection that signed the deal for us. I'm opening the tickets this year to 500. That's the ceiling. So we might not get 500, but we've got 500 to sell. 500 places. We've got growth at this new venue, folks. We've got growth to be there for the next however many years, and we could probably fit 2,000 of you in there, easy. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to end? It could be Glastonbury one day. That reminds me, I need to ring Kelly Jones to see if he'll perform at next year's for us. He's a good mate of mine, Kelly is. See if I can get Stereophonics to play there. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I am of course joking, I don't know Kelly Jones nor Stereophonics. I love the music, I love them. No, Stereophonics will not be playing at the weekend. We're always going to do daft things like the slow race for products and prizes, So you know, by all means, get your practicing on. Because this year's was won by a guy on a Fireblade, of all bikes, a newish Fireblade. There were people there on monkey bikes and, you know, all sorts of different kind of bikes, and the guy on a bloody Fireblade won it. And he won himself a brand new Pack Torque Edge, courtesy of Cardo. Thank you very much, Cardo, for supporting me and Wildbad as you have done over the years. It's lovely to be able to you know, get these products, the products that I use all the time, to be able to give to you lot. I mean, this new Edge, those of you that have not had it yet, I've used Cardo for, I think, since 2013, you know, since the G9 days. And you know, this is next generation wizardry. It's seamless, it's just seamless. If you've not ventured into this world yet, you ought to try it. But the best thing, genuinely, is this. Oh, I just popped it off. I'm going to pop it back on. Watch. Magnetic. Bang. Straight back on. It can't come off unless you press that little flap to release it. So it's not magnetic to release. It's actually locked into place now. You have to pull that little tab, pop it off. But putting it back on, you just essentially throw it at your helmet and it sticks there. Bloody brilliant. And I genuinely love that. Obviously there's more technology and more important things going off behind the scenes other than how it connects to your lid, but I think that's brilliant. And for me, you know, when I'm riding with a load of people, if I'm wanting to sign a video off to you lot and not let anybody else hear what I'm saying, I'll just pop it off, chat to you, and then just plop it back on. Whereas the Pack Torque, the normal Pack Torque Bold, and I used to do that with that as well, but then you're having to fiddle and fumble around then trying to connect it back, you know, get the little lug and push it back in. And whereas this, just put it near your lid and let go, and it just attaches. So yeah, Weekender, folks, tickets on sale November the 4th, 8 PM. Visit wildbadweekender.com. Everything is inside there. And last but not least during this episode, folks, is this year's Wildbad Christmas Do. Same place is booked that we always use. It's on Saturday the 10th of December. If you want to come, there's only a limited amount of places. I think it's 25 quid each, including live music and food. Near the departure lounge. Those that have been before will know exactly where it is. Tell your friends. It's just a nice way to sign off the year with a festive buffet, lots of laughs, lots of kisses and cuddles, and not so much whiskey for me this year. Thanks to all those that kept topping up my tumbler last year. And if you want to come, drop me a email, rich@wildbadtouring.com, to secure your place. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed listening to Richy V's Storytime. It's been a pleasure. It's been nice to get back out post Spain and Iceland. This is the first ride I've done since, so it's nice to get back on the bike. I said coming home from Spain that I need a break. I don't even want to see the bike for a week, so I've not even been in my garage. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for everything, and do stay tuned because there's some very cool stuff coming. Go and get some breakfast. Alright folks, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Do give us a thumbs up if you have. It helps YouTube share it far and wide. I'm going to go and get some breakfast, fill my belly up. I'll see you on the next one. Be good, be careful, be kind.
And your milk and sugars on that side there.
Lovely.
Thank you, look.